Hi everyone, my name is Victor from Komplet America. We're going to go over the KTS 40 Trommel. So follow me. There is a couple key features I want to go over with you before we start it. Once I do start it, you're not going to hear me too well. First thing is we have this panel here. Obviously you could open up this door here. You could put your key inside the switch for the ignition. We'll go over all the functions in a few minutes. This door here, we'll open this up. I'll show you exactly what's behind it. Inside here is pretty much the brains. All the electronical parts of this unit is inside here. You have this switch here, which is important. Normally the switch is off. This unit comes with an onboard generator. So we're going to demonstrate to you how it works on the onboard generator side. But if you had it inside a building and you wanted to hook up straight power, you would turn it to this side. We're going to do the onboard generator on this side. Right below it, there's emergency e-stop. Behind here, there's a bolt that normally secures this. We removed this so you guys can see behind it. You're going to see the trommel chain. You're going to see the rollers back there. You're going to see a grease point right there on the conveyor. On to your left tank, that is your diesel tank. On your right side, that's your hydraulic tank. Your fills are on the opposite side. This door here is to access the trommel screen. If your unit is running and you try to open this door, it's going to shut you down. It's kind of like a safety, so God forbid nobody falls in or trips, they can get hurt. So you disconnect this, your lever, you open it, you open up your door, and you have your trommel screener. On the opposite side, there's a door that's exactly like this, same view. If you're changing your screens or you need to remove your drum, you could access the hardware from either side. Or if you have a blockage, you could open up the doors, shut the machine down, open up the doors, and clear out your blockage. Pretty simple. Above, you're going to see that bar. That's the brush. Currently on the opposite side, I'm going to show you there's a lever. If you want to open it and close it, you need to open up the valve. And you can open up your brush or close your brush. But you need to close your valve to keep the brush with pressure on the drum. And I'll demonstrate within the video. So you close your door, put your plug. This unit also comes with a front conveyor that folds out this way. There's a hydraulic block on the other side that we'll get to. There's a lever for it that unfolds it. You have your trommel screen. You have the same door that we have on the opposite side. This unit also comes with a ground rod. You'll see the cable right there on the bottom. There's a ground rod there. Depending where you're working, it is recommended to drive your ground rod into the ground. I tell people, look in your area, code specific, how many feet you need to drive your ground rod. Every place is different. You have another e-stop over here on this side. You have an indication here for diesel, like if you need to fill your diesel tank. Open up this door here, you get a better look. You have your hydraulic valves, your diesel tank fill, your diesel tank level, and then you have your hydraulic tank. This unit is electric to hydraulic. So majority, it runs on electric. That's why it's on onboard generator. We'll close this here. You'll see over here to my left, this is the wireless receiver for the wireless remote for the Alltech system. You have another electric motor here. You have another electric motor here for your conveyor that drives your conveyor. Normally this pin is all the way in. We're going to remove this pin out so I can show you how to swing out your onboard generator. And normally you want to swing out your onboard generator. It's easiest to service it. When you do that, you have to keep in mind your conveyor has to be in the down position. When we start operating it, the conveyor goes up. If you have your conveyor up and you hit this function, you're going to hit your conveyor. So keep in mind, conveyor down, generator can open. There's a plug here as well. Something happens to your wireless remote, you can plug in, I like to say a dog leash, but It's also a tether. It's another remote that you could still operate your unit. Over here, you'll see there's 2 electric motors to drive the front roller for the conveyor. On this side, we'll have the panel here, start and stop the generator, which we'll get to in a few minutes. You have another e-stop. You have a battery disconnect here. You have another electrical motor. And then you have your controls. You have this one here will be from your front conveyor. This will be here to open up this chamber or close it. Normally, if you need to open and close this, you have to have your generator open all the way, or else if you keep going forward, you'll see your conveyor will hit your generator. This lever here, which is number 3, is for your belt, if you have to rotate it one way or another way to clean. Number 4 lever is to raise it or lower it. And number 5 lever, and they're listed here, they're highlighted so you can see. Number 5 lever is to swing out your electric motor. So we're going to close this door here, and we're going to start this up. So normally you have this switch on the off position. I like to put this on the on position first. We'll grab our keys. Your black key, put it inside the switch. Turn it to the right. We'll grab our remote. We'll turn on our battery disconnect. Open up the door. Now, this is your off button. This is like if you're manual, or this button here is if you have to go to certain points and change it. All you have to do, you want to put this into auto. You wait a few seconds, hit auto, the generator will start itself. Once it starts, we're going to hit the breaker on. What this is doing is giving power to our display. You turn that on, close our door. Now we'll go to our remote, e-stop out. You hit the start button once, it'll flash fast. Hit it one more time, it'll flash slow. That means our remote is synced. Now we have a display here. Now we're going to go over the display. Once you sync your remote, your display is going to turn on. You're going to make sure this button is on. And it's going to give you a couple presets. It might give you a warning, the device is not synced, and that takes a couple of seconds, that goes away. You have an alarm button here. If you have any alarms, they'll show up here. If you want to go back to the screen, you will hit your home button. You have this button here. Once you activate the hydraulics, you can manually turn on certain functions besides in auto. You can turn it, right now it's counterclockwise, or you can turn your drum clockwise, or you can increase the speed. Go back to home. You have this function here. You need to activate this to track your unit. If you go to that button there for the settings, that's a password that's preset from the manufacturer. It keeps the parameters pretty much set on the computer. If you ever need it, we need to contact the manufacturer. So we'll exit that out. We're going to go to hydraulics. Now we want to activate our hydraulics. When we click that button there, now this is flashing now. It's turning all the electric motors on the hydraulic system. Once they're fully on, that's going to stay lit. Once that stays lit, all right, now it's lit. Now we have hydraulic function. If you see here, it says grid. This unit has an option for a grid, but this unit doesn't have it. And then you have brush, which would be open and close. Or you have to do a mesh change. Normally you do a mesh change, open up your doors to do a mesh change. You have your rabbit speed or your turbo speed for tracking. Those are pretty much everything that you would have to do on this screen. I'll show you in a few seconds the open and close on what brush it's referring to, and we'll do that in a couple of seconds. we're going to go now to the valve block and we're going to set up the machine. So now that we've gone through the screen, we have our valve block here. I'm going to show you how to open to access the onboard generator for service. That's lever 5, which is indicated here. So this is a nice feature. If you have to service the generator, you swing it all the way out. You can open up the panels and service your generator. When you're done, you're going to swing it back in, which will be the lever pulled towards you to swing it in. We have this option here. Raise your unit. But we have to remove these pins to do it. That's when you raise your height. Lever here is for the conveyor. You always want to keep it down when you have your onboard generator swung out. The next lever is to open and close. So note, you have to have the onboard generator all the way open to open it. Bring that all the way in. We'll bring our generator back in. Push the lever in. At this point, we would put the pin in that I showed you earlier on the other side to lock it in place. Now that we're set up here, we're going to open up our conveyor, which is lever number 1. In is closed, out, away from me is open. I showed you earlier on the display the brush that's up top. Well, we had right next to the grid, and you had your brush function. I'm going to show you what that does on opening and closing. Right now it's all the way open. You will hit the close button and hold it down. And that's all you have to do. What that does is, if you have material and you want to put more pressure on it to clear out the material, then you hold it as close as possible. So now, we can raise our conveyor up. And over here, you have to find the sweet spot. Take your pin out, put it there. You do the same thing to the opposite side. We'll go to the remote and we'll turn on the unit. Very simple. You hit on. And start. Takes a few seconds. While you're operational. Now you can see, pretty simple setup once you have everything set up. It's only 2 switches, your start, and then you're on. Same thing if you want to shut it off. You want to shut it off, you hit off, there's a little delay, and then you hit your stop. That shuts all your belts, and your trommel stops spinning. So once you're done, at the end of the day, you shut everything off, you go to the opposite side, We'll fold up our conveyor. So we shut everything off on the remote. Off, stop. Once you do that, it kicks you out of the screen. You have to reactivate the hydraulics to fold up the conveyor and lower it and fold the other conveyor down. You go, all it is, you hit the button that we hit earlier. It flashes for a few seconds. Once the hydraulics kick in again, then you go to your main control valve, and we're going to hit number 1 for folding up our conveyor. So it's still flashing. It's all good to go. We hit our lever. You pull it towards you. Your lever all the way. Always pull this lever towards you. It closes it. Obviously, we would take the pin, back out, lower it, conveyor, depending on how you're positioning your unit. You could bring it higher, lower. Your preference, really. Majority of the time, I tell people keep the conveyor down. Usually at the end of the day, you want to try to clean up any material that's stuck on the bottom. Keep the conveyor down. It's easier for your guys to go in there and clean it out. Now that we have everything set up, obviously on your remote, on shutdown, your e-stop, it's going to let you know that it lost communication. That's fine. Go to this panel. You shut off your breaker. Off. Once it shuts down, you hit your battery disconnect, you close your door, you go back over here. Usually I like to always keep it on off if you're not using it. Take your key out, and that's it. It's simple. And that pretty much concludes our demonstration of the KTS 40. If you guys have any questions, feel free to give us a call. 908-369-3340. Thank you.